so we're just gonna wait for everybody to come back.
Are we back on?
It's a different stream.
Oh,
It kicked it off.
Oh, we're on a different stream?
Yeah, they're all coming back real quick.
Oh, God.
Whoops. Alright, we're back. They always do this to us.
They always do this to us.
Alright. So, like I was saying, we have phosphorescent and we got lights, we got luminescent lights, stuff that can light up without heat. And I'm not saying the sun doesn't have heat, but I'm just saying it's like, if it was just like a piece of cardboard and then underneath it, you know, the sun could go back underneath.
Here, we blow the Mercator up and have it take up a bigger portion of the screen there.
Yeah.
All right. So on timeanddate.com, they represent the Earth with a Mercator, and so you have to ask yourself, could the Earth be a flat square, flat rectangle? And if so, you have to have a way for the sun to start back over again. So I've hypothesized years ago even that as the sun gets to the end, is there a second sun ready to come up just as the sun A is going down? Is sun B coming up? And so, or does it just somehow just magically fucking go to the other side?
Could there be like a long, like a light bulb that goes all the way across, and it just basically lights and just goes slowly across, and then it just starts over just because it's a machine? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. We could be a fucking like petri dish made by these other super alien races, all sorts of weird shit.
So if you look at it from a video game standpoint, Pac-Man goes into the left side of the screen and pops out the right. So my question is, could we go to the North Pole and pop out at the South Pole? Can you go to the South Pole and pop out at the North Pole? Does it only work east to west, or does it also work north to south? And if so, then that would mean that maybe we're in some sort of a weird computer simulation type deal, where there's only this amount of space, and you basically just pop out the other side of the map whenever you get to the so-called end of the map. You just come out on the other side.
Yeah,
and so
you
could explain that maybe as being in some sort of a computer simulation, or we're trapped in sort of some sort of video game. But that is too much for most people to wrap their brains around. People want something that seems more realistic.
It's still speculative. We have no way to prove it.
It is speculative. So I don't want anyone to say that this is definitely the map that works or anything. I'm just saying, as far as a sunrise and sunset perspective, this map actually does a better job than does the AE map. Here, let's go to the AE map, one of my other pictures, and we'll talk about the daylight hours, how it doesn't work on an AE map. We'll go to the next one. Okay, so the sun rises from the southeast during the months of October, November, and December in the southern hemisphere, or southern hemisflat, and that is a problem for the AE map because it's the opposite direction. You see, if the sun is going around in a circle, it should never rise from the southeast. And in the month of December is when you can see the most degree of southern rising and setting. So you'll see the sun rise from the southeast during the month of December. If you live in Australia, you can actually point your compass at the rising sun, and it will come up out of the southeast, which is the opposite direction of the supposed circling sun. And then when it sets, it'll actually set to the southwest. So, here, go to the next picture. Next one. Next one. There he goes. So that's what it looks like. It's the opposite direction. So you have the sun coming up and then going down, and both opposite directions than the supposed circling sun. So they should see it coming from the northeast and then setting to the northwest, but instead they see it coming out of the southeast and setting to the southwest, the opposite direction. So the angles, if you just simply point a compass at it, if you're in let's say Ushuaia at the very tip of southern South America, or let's say you're down in Tasmania, or southern Australia, you can point your compass at the sun as it's rising and setting, and you will find out that it is not coming from directly east and then setting directly west. It is coming out of the south. And it gets further and further south the deeper you get into December. And then at the end of December is when it stops, and then it starts going back the other way again.
See, this is still like complicated just for layman's term. And so you'll see, what I know everybody's seen here is this map with the sun going around it. And they say, oh, look, in these continents, it's summertime. Then it gets smaller, and it goes, now it's summertime in these continents.
Okay,
and it
so
spreads
now
out.
that's the daylight hours, which is another argument. This simply is what angle the sun rises and what angle it sets. So the yellow arrow is what is actually happening, and then the red circle is what flat earthers believe is happening. So flat earthers who subscribe to this model think it's always going around in that circle pattern, but in actuality, during October, November, December, when it's supposed to be going around this outer ring, you can see it come up from the southwest down here. So it'd be coming from the ice wall, going up over your head, and then setting back towards the ice wall.
And that's why, if you
again.
can think about it, if you twist it into a sphere, then all of a sudden it would work, and then everything would be closer. And then, because the sun, that's what they don't tell you when you're watching these flat Earth videos, is when the sun's out here, and when it gets to Australia, and the flashlight's like flashing down on Australia. Well, it's supposed to be flashing on places that it can't get to.
I see what you're talking about. So we're going to get to the daylight hours next. So go to the next one. Next one. We'll get to these ones later. Here we go.
Oh!
So this one right here, and move the picture of us over to the right if you can.
Or
the picture of us out of the way.
Here, let's just get us out of the way for a minute.
Yeah.
We're too beautiful anyway.
Okay. So here's the problem with having a circular sun light up your entire Earth. In June, you'd have to light up a circular portion and then leave the rest of the Earth not lit up. And then during the equinoxes in March and September, you'd have to light up exactly a half of the Earth, like a half pie. So your sun would have to go from lighting up a circle portion to now lighting up a half pie portion. And now look over in December, now you have to light up the entire Earth except for a circular portion. So in order to achieve lighting up all the different areas, your sun would now have to be equipped with a shape-shifting lampshade. Or you just have to chalk it up to magic. So you have to magically have your sun light up the circular portion, then switch to a half pie shape, and then switch to this weird shape, where as you can see, it's going to light up all of the outer rim of the ice wall, but not the circular portion. So you have to ask yourself, right there in December, how is it lighting up that entire ice wall all the way around, but then leaving just a dark spot over there? And then 6 months later, it's doing the exact opposite. So as you can see, the daylight hours have to do some magical shit in order to light up every place correctly. A lot of flat earthers think that you just spin the sun around, it goes in a circle, and it just magically lights up everywhere magically, and you just don't ask questions like this. Now, I got called a shill when I pointed this out. I had people unsubscribe to me. I had all the major flat earth channels come at me, but none of them could debunk anything I say because it's all provable. You can actually call someone up during these parts of the year in these countries and ask if it's daylight outside. You can actually look on different phone apps and see what time it is and whether the sun's out. And so places like southern South America, the very tip of South America, it has to get 17 hours of sunlight in December. And how the hell are you going to get 17 hours of sunlight in December without changing the shape of the amount of sunlight that can reach the flat earth? So now flat earthers have to make up excuses. If they're going to use this map, I shouldn't say all flat earthers, but if they're going to use this map, this is when they start making up excuses like, oh, well, it's a reflection off the dome. Or, oh, well, it's magic. And so when you start making up excuses as to why it does this magically, that's when you start stretching the truth, and I don't like stretching the truth. So do I think the Earth could be flat? Absolutely. Do I think that this map is the best one? No, I don't. Also, if you start in the center point of this map, Tommy, which way is south?
Is always going towards the ice wall.
So if you're in the North Pole, every single direction is south.
Yeah.
And so let's say you're at the bottom at the bottom of southern South America, at the tip of southern South America down there. You would say that you're on the southern position of the map, but then somebody all the way over in Australia heading towards the ice wall would say that they're going south.
Well, it wouldn't be
but that's the opposite direction from where you are.
But that's not what southern is. It's a new concept where it starts at like 0, and then as it spreads out to those lines, that goes to 10, 90.
Just picture
So you're saying you're at 90. You're at 90% on the outskirts.
So picture yourself. Let's say it's a clock. Picture yourself at the ice wall. It's 6.
I see what you're saying. I'm just saying
6 o'clock.
You'd have to relabel
So somebody over at 12 o'clock is saying that they're at the south, and you're going to say that you're in the south, and you're on opposite sides of the pizza.
See, to explain that is you'd have to say the whole outer roundness, the whole outer circle is 12 o'clock. And as it gets smaller and smaller, it's 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Well, here's my issue with it is it takes away true direction. So on a square map or Mercator map, you actually do have directions. North is going north, south is going south, and west is west, and east is east. Whereas on this map, north flips the minute you pass the North Pole, and now you're heading south, and so every single direction is south, and then going left becomes going west, and then going right becomes in a circle becomes going east. So you lose your true directions. Here, go to the Mercator map real quick.
Is that
the square map again?
Is that
Just keep going so
I forget what the back button is.
Just keep going so we get to the square map again. There we go.
Oh, that one?
Go back, yeah. So right here on the Mercator map, if here, can you blow it up?
It does. I can't get it bigger than this.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
Okay.
I could try.
And thank you for the donation. Someone said if you go back 40 generations, you have I don't know what you're trying to say. 1 trillion ancestors. Were they the same people? Or we had way more people, simulation?
That's a good question. I think
that's a good question.
Over our heads.
That might be. Yeah, that's for a different video. So before I get off on a different topic, let me stick to what I'm trying to say. So on this map, Tommy, if you're in South America and you head south, you're going to run into that South Pole at the bottom of the screen. And then if you're over in Africa and you head south, you're going to hit that bottom continent at the bottom of the screen. And then if you're in Australia and you go south, you're going to hit that bottom continent. Well, you see what I'm saying? So south is like you're going down on that rectangular map, and you're all going in the same direction. So on the circle map, you're going in fucking different directions, and that's why I don't like that map. See, on a square or a rectangle, north is north, and west is west. You don't have to go in a circle to go west. You don't have to go in a circle to go east. Whereas if you use the AE map, you have to be constantly turning right or constantly turning left in order to say that you're going west or east.
If that map is correct, then they would just have to get rid of the whole fucking north being north, and they just have to decide on where north, south, east, and west would be like on a compass, and just fucking throw that whole fucking stupid shit out, you know? But what, like, my buddy NorCal Waters had to sit down and explain to me, because I had all this stuff told to me many times.
You want to put us up on the screen?
Yeah, I had this stuff told to me many times, but the simplest explanation for someone like that needs books that are for dummies like me was the simple. Let me get to this map, and then you can probably help explain what I'm trying to say. Because NorCal Waters had to, because you told me all this shit when you first had the whole thing happen, and you were like, and everybody was coming at you because you were going against that map.
Yeah.
That's what I want to go to. So like I was saying is, let me show you. Maybe I should let me add a source. If I get a picture of the sun let me get a picture of the sun real quick, and then I'm going to have a sun that I can move around the map so people can actually see it. That'd be kind of cool. And so hey, while I'm looking for a picture of the sun, can everybody hit the like button? So
hey,
we
hit
can
the like button, you guys. There's only 34 likes on this video. Come on, there's 120 people watching. We're going to be talking about the Earth and all these cosmologies. Please hit the like button.
The internet is slightly slow right now.
Our internet's a little slow, so we're going to do the best we can.
Let me see. It's what it is. So, because like I said, Jake, maybe you're like holding on in class and you're trying to understand, and Jake's going a little fast. See, Jake understands it. I'm a substitute teacher for the last 10 years, so I can tell real quick when kids are lost. Okay.
And Can't Cross Antarctica says, "Yo, you guys, the problem with the square map, what happens when you reach the eastern and western edge? You magically teleport to the other side?" Well, we discussed that just a bit ago, and we're saying, yeah, that might be the case.
We don't know. Probably
because
not,
the video game designers who designed Pac-Man came up with an idea where when Pac-Man goes in the left side, he magically comes out the right side. And if you look at this place where we live, there's a lot of shit that seems as if we live in a giant computer. It doesn't seem like everything just organically happens by luck on a spinning ball hurtling through outer space, and it doesn't seem like it's all taking place underneath a firmament on a circle pizza pie with a sun going around in a circle. So we're just trying to figure out what other possibilities could exist. And the square map does explain certain things better than others. However, we are stuck with the question, what happens when you go from one edge of the map? How do you come out on the other side? Do you teleport? I don't know. I don't know what that is or how that works. Or if you go to the South Pole, are you going to pop out at the North Pole? Again, I don't know. I've never tried it myself, and I don't know anybody who has tried it. And I don't trust what the government says. So therefore, I'm always stuck with more questions than I do have answers.
All right, I found a transparent one here, so
okay.
I'm gonna add it to the source, and here we almost go.
In the book of Enoch is a popular. Well, just use your mouse cursor, I guess. If you have to.
I'll just make it a small square.
So the book of Enoch explains the Earth as a rectangle or a square, and so it just depends which source you're looking at.
Let me sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Tommy.
So this is an easy way to get people, like, they're watching deep into flat Earth, 200 proofs. Then it'll be like, and you know how they say you want to go down to South America, or you want to go down to Australia and it's summertime? Look, it's summertime here. Now it's winter up there. Ooh, now look, it's winter, or it's summer here and it's winter out there.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it flips around. We live on this map here.
Yeah.
But if the sun's here, right? I heard that it's also like over here or over here because on the globe, those are not far away from each other. They're twisted down by each other. So, do you see what I'm saying?
The right here, the problem, like we just discussed earlier in the beginning of the video, it was over on the other stream that got shut down. So I'm going to have to edit the streams together, which is a pain in the ass. But the stream that got shut down earlier, we discussed the distances. And so, yes, those distances on a globe or on a Mercator square map are a lot closer together. And so, yeah, that's a problem on this map, is that, like, they'll show the sun being in one location, and then people can get on their phones, or they can go outside and see that it's still daylight, and that the sun will be all the way on the opposite side of the Earth, but somehow it's still lighting up some portion over there on the other side of the pizza pie.
Like, cause they'll say right here, oh, because if the sun's here, and the reason why it's dark over here is because it's so far away. But in reality is that, you see how those are far away? On a globe, now they're closer to each other, and so it gets to it a lot quicker because they're a lot closer to each other, and you can prove that's true. And so this is it should be sunny already over in Africa.
Here, go back to the other.
Right here.
For anyone who missed the other stream, we were doing another stream. We got
Africa,
about 10-15 minutes in, and then we got shut down. And this is stream number 2. So anyone who missed the earlier stream, let's go ahead and rehash here. Go back to the distance map.
Okay,
again.
let me get rid of this. And another thing too, I said to NorCal Waters, I was like, well, then why do you still think the Earth is flat? And he said, because you can't measure curve. And I was like, good point. you can't. I can also we can measure that things are not curved.
Well, and the globe cosmology says that we spin at 1,000 miles an hour while going around the sun at 60,000 miles an hour, while the sun is doing over 1,000,000 miles an hour shooting through the galaxy, and we don't feel any of that because of gravity. Go back to that daylight hours one that you just passed. Or actually, that one right there. Let's leave that one. So anyone who missed the earlier stream that got shut down, we started with the distances on the map being wrong. So on this AE map, you have the United States right there. And if you measure the United States, we have it as being 3,000 miles. That's the accepted distance from East Coast to West Coast, roughly 3,000 miles. On the AE map, you can fit 5 United States back to back to back to back in between Santiago, Chile and Sydney, Australia. So that would be 15,000 miles on the AE map. And if you Google the distance between these two, it's only 7,000 miles. So that means the AE map has a discrepancy, a difference of 8,000 miles. That's not just a tiny discrepancy. So you can't have this gigantic discrepancy of miles between Google and this flat Earth AE map. Somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong. And so far I've never seen proof that that's a 15,000 mile gap in between there. And furthermore, the continent of Australia is stretched out like a piece of bacon, and it doesn't look like that on any other map. So when you look at any square map or any shape of map, Australia is not stretched out like a piece of bacon. And then South America, just underneath the United States, is represented as being about 3 times as big. So I've never seen a map where South America is extremely gigantic and 3 times the size of America, and I've never seen a map where Australia is represented by this stretched out piece of bacon. And then you also have to somehow prove that it's 15,000 mile gap. So the distances on the map just don't quite add up.
Now, and I want to show you something right here that I thought of, and I'm getting a Nobel Prize for, is, check this out. Okay, we got to get rid of this. Nope, hold on. It's a beautiful day, guys.
Shit, we're not coming through.
We're moving. I see us moving.
I don't hear us talking.
Yeah, no, we're talking. Oh, I turned the volume off.
Oh, you turned my volume off.
Check this out.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Okay.
False alarm.
Now I can explain how can we be on a globe and the Earth still be flat? Voila! We're on a fucking hexagon fucking ball, guys. Like, and we are all magnetic. You think about this. There's electricity, static electricity, magnetic electricity, all sorts of stupid shit, right? Now, I got something out of the dryer the other day, and it was kind of like it was a blanket, but when it fell on the ground, it was like it kind of went in a ball shape, and it had these little not wires, whatever, yarns of strands sticking out. They all stood out straight, perfectly straight out like this. Like, who knows? We all could be magnetically pulled to the middle, so it doesn't have to be. There doesn't have to be this weird thing, gravity. You don't have to be getting pushed up. You just could be statically connected to Earth or magnetically connected, because who knows what type of magnetic thing they have below us that can have all of our stuff that's in our molecular structure, and everything in Earth be pulled to the middle. So that's why we could measure massive flatness, and I don't know, I could be wrong as fuck.
Tommy, I love the way you come up with these theories, but this is all just it's all just speculation.
I made it up. I have no clue.
So let's not. So we aren't trying
out there.
We aren't trying to say that it's one thing or the other.
Not at all.
We just like to speculate.
Actually, that I just slightly stupid. but. I don't know. I can't vouch that I'm wrong about that either. I have no clue.
Okay, so the distances on this map are bunk. I'm yet to find anybody who can prove that the distances on this map add up. And like I said, the further south you get, the continents start getting stretched out and distorted, and you don't see these countries and continents being represented as being all stretched out and distorted like this, except for on the AE map. Here, go to the let's go to the next one. Go to the square map that's inside the ball, the Enoch one.
Oh yeah.
So we'll go to a square or a rectangle map that's inside of a ball, and this is the here, there it is.
Whoop.
That one. Go back. Yeah. So this one right here is one that I got from somebody who recommended the Book of Enoch, Square Earth, Rectangular Earth, and they say that it's a square inside of a sphere firmament. So in this one, you basically combine your flat Earth with a round firmament going over the top. And so this is kind of like a best of both worlds. And I like the way that they have the stars explained, as the stars go down a straight path down the equator, down the middle, and then the stars go from southeast to southwest on the southern half of the map, and then in the northern half of the map they go from northeast to northwest. And so you have your star trails going in opposite directions, just depending which side of the map you're on. And you have your sun rising and setting on this map, which I really like, because I always ask the question, how the hell can we have a flat Earth but still have a sun rise and set? Because it does appear, when you look at the sun with your eyes and you use your senses, that it does appear to rise and set. It does appear to come up and go down. Anyone who says different is lying to themselves. Any flat earther who says, no, it just comes at you and goes away from you. Oh yeah, then why doesn't it shrink down into a little dot? It doesn't shrink down into a little dot. It gets bigger as it goes down. And then they try to explain that away with moisture in the air and magnification in the atmosphere. Whereas I say, why can't it just be flat and it goes up and it goes down? Then they said that can't possibly be possible. It can't be flat and go up and go down. So in this model, you actually do have a sun going up and going down, and it starts at the it'll be in the equator on the equinoxes. It'll be at the northern end of the map during our summer, and then it'll be in the southern end of the map during their summer. And so the ice wall, I guess, would be down there at the bottom. And so my question is, do you pop back out and morph to the other side? If you go to the South Pole, do you pop back out at the North Pole? I don't know. Or is there some sort of barrier, some sort of wall, some sort of actual firmament that you are going to run into? So
this one looks pretty cool, though.
I think it's cool. Like I said, I can't prove any of these, but this one at least explains opposite star trails, where the AE map fails when it comes to opposite star trails. Actually, we have that map. Let's go to the AE map opposite star trail, and then we'll go into concave.
AE map, but not the ice wall.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the AE map, people in Australia and Southern Africa and Southern South America, they see the stars going in an opposite direction around the Southern Cross, and that's kind of a popular debunk of the AE map. And it's another one that causes flat earthers who subscribe to this map to like start spinning off excuses. Oh, well, no, South Pole doesn't exist, and those people are liars. They don't see it go in the opposite direction. So you have to start making up excuses as to why you see the stars go in an opposite direction on the AE map. And that's just one of many problems with it. So you have the distances that are a problem on the AE map. You have the daylight hours, a problem on the AE map. The sun appearing to actually come up and go down is a problem. And you have the star trails here. So the star trails are better explained on a square map or rectangle map, because you could say they just go down the center during the equinoxes, and that they go from southeast to southwest at the bottom of the map, and northeast and northwest on the top of the map. So I like the way that a Mercator map explains the star trails better than I like the AE map making up excuses. And this is one where Dubé starts spinning excuses. He calls this a straw man attack. It's like,
straw man?
Yeah, he denies anyone who shows video of the stars going in the opposite direction down there.
Well, maybe we should go. Maybe he's right. It's like the moon landing that we didn't see for ourselves. So, but I'm pretty sure there's tons of these pictures up from verified photographers on the internet all day, every day.
So right now you have shills still pushing this map, and you got guys like David Weiss out there who is pushing a flat Earth map where he's tracking and tracing where everyone is. So he's getting flat Earthers to sign up for a tracking app where he'll say, look, I'll show you where all the other flat Earthers are on this map. But that means he knows where you are. So basically, if you signed up for David Weiss's flat Earth tracking app, that means they're tracking where you're at. And so what they're going to do with that information, God only knows. Just pointing out that his app doesn't show where the sun is correctly, and he has a tracking app tracking flat earthers.
Somebody says right here, there's vids of 24-hour sun. What's your take, Jake?
Yeah, what happens in those videos, there's also a little bit of twilight that seems to be mixed in with a lot of them. When it comes to videos and stuff I haven't seen with my own eyes, it's hard to trust it. However, there are plenty of videos out there of people going up north and supposedly seeing this 24-hour sunlight. However, that doesn't debunk the people seeing the sun come up from the opposite direction when you go down south. So, I have thrown a big question mark in the air when it comes to what is right and what is wrong, because I find something wrong with all the cosmologies. I find holes in every one of these cosmologies. So when someone asks the question, what about the 24-hour sunlight? My thing is, well, what happens down south when that circle sun stops working correctly down there? Then they start making up excuses, saying, oh, well, it's an optical illusion.
Somebody got a donation in euros. The SOS airplane landings on the FE map makes more sense than what they tell us.
Yes, there are some flights that do make more sense on the AE map than they do on a globe map. I'll give you that. However, flights alone still aren't enough for me to conclude one way or the other. There's a lot of weird shit when it comes to flights, and they lie about a lot of stuff. We don't even know for sure as far as what planes are using as fuel. They could be using compressed air as fuel. They can slow down or speed up. They can go faster than they say they can go. They might purposely go slower in some cases than they could. So when it comes to flights, there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and I've banged my head against the wall when it comes to like looking at different routes, because I can't even confirm in some cases whether some of these flight routes even exist, because some of the flight routes get canceled, and I don't even know if real people actually board some of these flights that they say exist, or whether they're just flights that are put up there to make it look like it's a globe. So when it comes to flights, I will say there's a lot of conflicting information, and there's some that do support a globe. There's some that support the AE map. There's some that just don't work on either. And the fact that they pit stop in these strange locations, you can't just say, oh, well, that's it. It's the AE map, because they stopped in Dubai, and Dubai is on the way over to this other place. And so on the AE map, it makes sense, but on the globe, it doesn't. They just might go in the opposite direction just to throw you off. So when it comes to flights, it's one piece of evidence, but I don't think it's the ultimate piece of evidence in determining what is the actual map, what is the truth. Because again, a plane can fly faster than usual, slower than usual. They lie about the distances in between these places to where we don't really know for sure what the true map even looks like.
If they didn't lie, what would it lead you to think is the correct form?
What's that? If they didn't,
if the planes didn't lie, which would be the correct one then?
I don't know, because my personal evidence always lies in what I find on the computer and what someone else told me.
Well, what does the computer tell you?
All sorts of different information.
Oh, okay. This is exactly. I can't figure it out.
So it's
for all I know, everybody that did the what's going to be dead in 3 to 6 months. It's been 3 months, not everybody's dead yet, but like it could be like placebos, like I don't know.
That's an entirely different.
Sorry.
So, let's switch gears here and talk about the concave Earth, because there are people who ditch the flat Earth cosmology and the globe, and there it is right there.
We want this one that spins, right?
Yeah.
All right.
This is the popular concave cosmology, and when people decide that it's not a globe, sometimes they go flat, and then when they reach the problem with the AE map and the distances and the daylight hours, they might switch over to the concave Earth, which, in my opinion, has its own problems, because now you've taken the globe and you've flipped it inside out, so instead of gravity, you're compressed against the walls.
Like the gravitron machine at the
You're
fair.
walking on the walls.
That makes so much sense.
So
bro.
in this model, you're in a concave cell, and the water is pressed against the fucking walls.
Because it's spinning.
And
right?
so apparently you should see the opposite curvature. You should see concave curvature in this model.
Yeah, that would you should yeah.
Which I've never found any conclusive evidence of any concave.
I've driven so far. I've been in airplanes. I haven't seen that shit at all, bro. Maybe. I don't think so.
And so I've asked the simple question to the concave earthers, like, why doesn't the sun come down in the morning and then go up at night, right? Because on this model, the sun would be coming downward and then going up as it leaves you. And you know what they say? Oh, no, you're so small. And then when the sun comes at you, it appears it's coming up and going down because you're so small, and it just appears to be the opposite way. They don't really have a good way of explaining why it doesn't come down in the morning and go up at night.
And
They just say it's the opposite. Now, one thing they do explain is the opposite star trail, and the stars they have as a sphere in the middle. So they say that the nighttime sky is a sphere in the middle, and so when they look from the South Pole into the Southern Cross, they can see the stars go one direction, and then if you were at the top of the concave cell, at the North Pole, you could look at the southern. You could see them going around the fucking
dome.
Yeah, you could see them going around the opposite direction. So if you were on let's see, in the middle on the equator, then you would see stars going in a straight line. So they do actually have the stars explained properly in the concave model.
So do you think it's true?
I don't think it's true, no.
But it might be.
No, I don't even think it might, because they can't explain how the sun doesn't come down in the morning and go up at night. And then you still have to prove curvature exists. And I've never seen anyone replicate water shoved up against the inside of a ball. Like, I've never seen anyone take, like, a plastic ball and then shove the water equally up against the walls.
It would have to be spinning pretty fast, and then that would cause... who knows, though?
So in their model, you don't spin. The sun goes around... The sun and the moon go around a nighttime sphere. And so, also in their model, space is fake. You don't go to outer space. And so they agree with us. The concavers agree with the flat earthers that the NASA stuff is fake, because you can't go into a space in their model, because space is a celestial sphere.
And what happened to Lord Stephen Christ?
Last I heard, Lord Stephen Christ went to jail.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Last I heard, he went to jail.
What for?
But he was the leading proponent of the concave model. Last I heard.
Well, if we can get a picture of him, we'll show him. This guy was... It's kind of like he was the ultimate troll. Oh, here he is. I found him. All right. Let me...
Yeah, so he used to, like, threaten to murder anyone who disagreed with the concave Earth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he wouldn't, like, make debunk videos. He would just straight up be like, I am the Lord and I am your savior. And the flat earth is ridiculous. Bow down to the one and only Lord. I am your God. I'm not even, like, making this up. He totally says that he is God.
He was kind of like
and
a
that
bully.
he created you and me, and he created the concave Earth.
He kind of reminded me of like a guy who liked to do meth and work out a lot and eat creatine and get hyped up and kick people's asses at the bar. And that's what he just got the,
So
that's the vibe I got.
he used to just threaten death on anyone who would make fun of his concave
Trying to
model.
go to his Facebook. We'll get back to that later.
JF, screw it. No, let's go back to what we have. So go back to the concave model.
Sure.
Here, go to the next concave model. there. So basically, what they believe is that you're walking on the inside of the Earth and you're compressed. Instead of gravity, they call it compression. That you're compressed and walking on the walls. And that the water is all compressed up against the sides. And that you're looking into a celestial sphere. And so that's got your stars. And that the stars are implanted in the celestial sphere.
That's pretty cool.
So I will give them the fact that they have a solve for the star trails, and that their map has continents that aren't all stretched out and not all screwed up. So their distances and their continent shapes, right, and their star trails and the star spin, get all that. The problem becomes, I don't know anybody who's definitively proved that concave curvature exists.
Yeah.
Or that concave water exists.
All right, we're kind of back.
All right, I don't know if it's working or not, but...
Let me see. Maybe it's the internet.
All right, yeah, we might be all right.
Oh, yeah, it's going.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, this is the concave model. A lot of people who give up on flat Earth when they find out that the AE map doesn't work, they switch over to this map, and they feel like this one is the true model.
But you would think because of how many miles away you would and if you would use that same like the same math, because you're using the same math basically but inverted.
It's globe inside
and
out.
so you would constantly see this shit, dude. You'd like be able to see.
My main debunk is this.
Or maybe not,
My
maybe
main
not.
debunk is you should have concave curvature, and you should have the sun coming down in the morning and going up at night.
And he hasn't. I found his Facebook, Lord Stephen Christ, and he has not posted since 2018. 2017 is the last time he linked something. 2018 was his last post.
So he must be in jail or something.
And he's like, solar eclipses in the Lord Stephen Christ concave Earth. Solar eclipses. So the last time anybody, so he's been out the game for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know what happened to him. I'll send him a message and try to find out some other time. Look, see, he's like gangster. That's kind of like a Master P.
Here, so
weird shit.
let's go back to the pictures and go to the one that has the AE maps and then the ice with different AE maps and then ice walls surrounding all of them.
Okay.
That one. Okay. So when I used to subscribe to the AE map, I used to follow the AE map. I used to put the question out there that what if we were to get on top of the ice wall and then go searching over, the ice, and are there other worlds out there? Could there be other Earth pawns out there? And so this was a popular theory. Remember back 2016-17, we used to talk about you could get on the ice wall and then, let's say, travel to a neighboring Earth pawn, and maybe they would have a circle sun over there.
I had Matt Boylan explain this to me in my backyard before I met you.
So here's the problem now, and the reason why I've ditched this and I no longer put this out as a possibility is once you start debunking the AE map and you debunk that circle sun pattern, and you debunk the AE map's just efficiency as a working model, then suddenly you can't say that there are other worlds out there, like this in circle ponds, because the circle model doesn't work. So then it's like this idea that there are other circle models out there if I just get up on the ice wall and go find them. I kind of had to just give up on this and throw it out because the circle sun model doesn't work. So therefore, we don't even know if there is an ice wall surrounding us like this. We don't even know if there are any other worlds out there. And so when I found the circle sun map not working, the notion of there being other circle maps out there, other Earth pawns, kind of became
why look into
it if the circle map that I'm supposedly living on doesn't work? Why am I going to discuss the possibility of there being other circle maps? So the problem with this other map deal, like you see here, or people saying we live on the moon in a crater and that we could travel to other Earth craters, well, the circle map fails. We don't have a working circle map with a circle sun. So if the circle map fails, you can't go supposing there's other circle maps out there when the one that we live on doesn't quite work. So with that said, we have two guys proposing that there's a map on the moon. We have Vibe of Cosmos, who's saying that the entire moon is a map of the Earth. And then we have a guy named God Glavmasty.
It's always Lord or God or some shit.
Who says that we live inside of a tiny, tiny crater on the moon, and that we live on a circle map inside of a tiny crater on the moon. So they both go in different directions. They say that we live on a map on the moon. One guy says it's the entire moon is the map, and the other guy says that we live inside of this little weeny teeny crater. So let's go ahead and go to the crater shit. We'll talk about that for a minute. So this is here, we'll stop there. This is a popular theory. This guy's getting a lot of traction on YouTube. I say that the dude is a gatekeeping shill who has no real evidence. It's all a bunch of bull crap, in my opinion. It's a rabbit hole that you're meant to dive down and waste your time and never really get anywhere. He says that we live inside of a crater on the moon. So he says that the Earth is 1,000 times bigger than they tell us, and that it's gigantic.
That's just the piss people
And then
off,
he says Hitler is Walt Disney, and that Walt Disney World is built as a map of the true Earth, and that he's teaching you how to.
Oh, God. No.
He's teaching you how to. I
No.
swear this is what he says.
No.
I'm not making this up.
It sounds like you wasted some time.
He says Walt Disney is Hitler trying to teach you how to escape the crater Earth that you live in. Here, go to the next crater, and he says if you zoom in on the crater,
I don't know where it is.
there it is. If you zoom in on the crater, and then you fill it in with your own water, and then start spinning a sun around it, that's where we live. So there's a guy right now who's getting a lot of views and getting a lot of people to believe in his shit. He's telling people we live inside of a crater on the moon. And so my thing is, if you're going to stick a circular style map or stick this map down there, you got to prove it, man. You got to make your daylight hours work. You got to make your sunrise and your sunset angles work. Everything's got to work. And see, look at his map. Look where he's got Australia over there.
I see the Africa, I see Australia, but you know what he did was, and this is a simple fucking trick, you just take something that's fucking big as fuck, that has a bunch of random fucking patterns on it, you just fucking slowly look through it till you find one that kind of might match us, kinda.
So,
and then you go to fucking YouTube and start making fucking bunk videos.
So this guy claims that the Earth is gigantic, and that we live in this little weeny teeny crater, and he says, I swear to God, that Walt Disney World was built by Hitler, who is Walt Disney, and that it's a map for us humans to escape. So if you go to Disney World, he claims that it's a map of the crater Earth.
That's
Swear that's what he says. Now, there's another guy who has an entirely different moon map, and me and you discussed him last time, Vibe of Cosmos, and I sent you a video. Let's go ahead and check out the video Vibe of Cosmos, and we'll talk about that moon map.
The video.
So it's the moon map video that I sent you.
Gotcha. Not
That's not that one. No,
Okay,
not that one. Yeah, that one. That's it.
just play it from the beginning.
Yeah, and turn it down, 'cause it's got loud music. Okay, so Vibe of Cosmos takes the entire moon, and then he fills in the gray spot, the light gray spots with water, and then he fills in the dark gray spots with land. So he flips the moon upside down, and then he fills in the light gray spots with water, and then he fills in the darker gray spots with land, and he says that this is the true map of the Earth. So his map doesn't have an ice wall. In fact, there's no ice on his map, and his map has extra continents and hidden land. Now, this guy's getting a lot of traction on YouTube as well. There's a lot of people just straight buying into this map without really proving anything. And as you can see, he's got Atlantis on the map. He's got Lemuria on the map. And look at the shape of Africa. Look at the shapes of these continents. So this guy, I don't know if he's misleading his audience intentionally, if this is another gatekeeping shill, or if this guy actually believes in what he's pushing. And I do find it fascinating that some of the shapes on the moon somewhat do resemble the continents. However, it looks like he takes liberties and he changes the shape and he fills in some places with land where there should be water, fills in some places with water where there should be land. Just like he kind of takes liberties with the moon, and then he makes this map. And then when I ask simple questions like, well, what about these extra continents that he's throwing in? He's throwing in Hyperborea, he's throwing in Lemuria, he's throwing in Atlantis. People are saying, oh, well, Lemuria is underneath the ocean, Jake. Or Lemuria and Atlantis are hidden. Well, then why does he have it on his map if they're hidden? How is he filling it in with land if it's supposed to be underneath the water? So down there next to Australia, he's got the continent that's just as big as Australia. See, here's his Australia. He's got Lemuria right next to it. So if Lemuria was really that close to Australia, then that means somebody would go there. Look at it. So he's got this big giant Lemuria there. And so when I ask people, where is this continent? They say, oh, it's underneath the water. So again, we're stuck with these excuses, conjecture, speculation. And so this guy's map, I find it interesting. He's got places like Atlantis and Hyperborea. I would love to go to the North Pole and see what's there, but I'm not going to go as far as to make a map and tell people that Hyperborea is there when I've never been there. So, and then he includes all these big, huge continents, which he calls Terra Vista, without any proof that any of these places exist. Now again, how is a circular sun going to light up all these places correctly? And in this model, there is no ice wall. It's just a bunch of land. So people falling for this, there's a lot of questions here. And the guy who makes this video, these videos, he doesn't talk or speak or show any pictures of himself. He just shows these clips. So it'll be a clip like you're watching now without any information. You're just stuck staring at the map with some music in the background. And he never does explain in detail why he believes this to be true. So this is one of the moon maps that's going around right now. I would highly advise that you don't fall down the moon map rabbit hole. It's interesting. However, none of these maps seem to be accurate. Like this map we're looking at, when I start asking questions about it, people start saying, oh, well, that continent's underwater. Well, then why is it on his map? You're telling me there's an old, inaccurate map on the moon? What? Why would there be an old, inaccurate map on the moon? It doesn't make any sense to me. And if there is an old, inaccurate map on the moon, what good is it? If you can't use it to travel, if there's continents on it that don't exist anymore above water, then what good is it? And so when I see some videos like this, like God, Levmasty, and Vibe of Cosmos, I take it with a grain of salt. It's interesting, but I look at it more like a rabbit hole that leads you to nowhere and wastes your time. All right, so Thomas is out. He's using the restroom, and I'm not exactly sure how to switch over to the other images. So I'll go ahead and take some questions over in chat right now. Oh, here he is. So I'll go ahead and take some questions over in chat right now. Someone mentioned Pangea. Yeah, so they say that all... Here, we'll watch this real quick. So watch the moon turn back into the moon from an Earth map to the moon. Here, turn that off.
Do you want me to go back?
Okay. No, that's cool. So they say that all the continents used to be one continent called Pangea. At least that's what mainstream science says. But my thoughts on that is, what difference does that make nowadays? Because if you have a map of Pangea where all the continents are one continent, well, they aren't anymore. So even if that is true, what are you going to do? You can't use it to travel. You can't use it to do anything. It's an inaccurate, wrong map. So if there's an inaccurate, wrong map on the moon, what fucking good is that going to do us? So that's one Earth cosmology that it's been getting really popular. So let's go back to the AE map. You know, we'll show this video right here. This is a video I made back in 2017, I believe. There were people who were showing, we were just on it, that last video.
I'll go back to that video.
An AE map, and you could take a glass paperweight, and you could stick the paperweight on top of the map, and then you could take a little flashlight and shine it around and light up the inside of it. And they were saying that this is how you light up the flat Earth. Here, go ahead and put the sound on.
This and 81 makes inside that there glass dome. You watch. Now see, I takes the flashlight and I start moving it around like this, and as you can see, there's reflections up and in there off the dome. This is due to the atmosphere that is located inside of the glass paperweight. You see there's an atmosphere all up inside there, and see when I'm shining the flashlight in there, it makes all these reflections happen. And that's what's happening inside the dome on the flat Earth. Everything works perfectly inside there, just like this. It's as if God, or the Creator, is sitting outside the dome with a little pen flashlight, just like I am, and he's making the sun go around there just like this. And this is how it works. It goes around here just like this. This is how the world works. Now, some folks say you can't light up all the specific areas with all the specific daylight hours doing it this way, but I'm here to prove you wrong, that you can do it.
See, that's what I was saying earlier, that it has to be lit up over here in order to work on the flat Earth.
It has to morph throughout the year. You have to light up half the Earth during the equinoxes, and then in June it's a circular portion, and then by December you have to light up every place except for a dark circular section. Alright, so continue this video.
Just like this. You see how I'm lighting up everything just perfect? Everything worked just perfect in there. That's because I got me my flashlight, I got me my glass dome, and I got me my AE map. This here is a perfect demonstration of how everything works, like God says so.
Jesus Christ.
Well, Gleason Tards, this is where I literally burst your bubble. It's time to leave the fantasy behind and live in reality. In reality, do you really think there is a glass dome over your head? And if so, what is it that you are breathing inside of the dome?
Alright, hit stop.
Is there water inside your dome? Is there weather patterns inside your dome?
Okay, so Jaren and his crew and all the AE map lovers, they showed me this flashlight video and said, ha ha, flat Earth asshole, we debunked you, you're a shill sent to divide the flat Earth, you're a disinfo agent.
You're in timeout.
Jake, you're a disinfo agent, and you're sent here to divide the flat Earth. You're trying to divide and conquer the flat Earth. Well, here was the problem: was they used a glass paperweight, and the glass paperweight is solid glass. So if you're going to use a solid glass paperweight to represent our Earth with our atmosphere, and then you're going to use a pen flashlight to represent the sun, I'm going to point out that we don't live inside solid glass. And furthermore, in this demonstration, this means your sun is on the outside. So this demonstration puts the sun on the outside of the firmament and suggests that you live inside of solid glass. Now, this glass paperweight doesn't have air inside of it. It doesn't have water inside of it. But here, the Earth that we live on, we do have water and,
like
and air inside, right?
But the thing also is, the sun. Okay, if the sun's on the side where the pin is,
Over the top
you would
of a
see like a
plate with
sun.
water
But if
on
you're
it,
getting the
you
reflection
actually
over the
would
other
not
side,
be
you'd
able
just be
to
getting
get these
sunlight.
same
You wouldn't be getting a
reflections
sun.
Exactly. So they have the reflection going around the back counting as sunlight, because you do have to light up that entire outer portion during the later months of the year. So they have it being a reflection. So we're to believe that people are not seeing the sun, they're only seeing a reflection?
Who told you this? ODD?
No, this is what the
ODD or whatever?
No, he didn't say that. No. This is
Mark Sargent shit.
This is like Jaron and his crew are the
Jaron?
one. Yeah, Jaron and
Remember
Bob.
when I kissed Jaronism at the Flat Earth Convention? I have proof. It was a no homo kiss though. It was like one of those European kisses before there was COVID. I would never do that shit now.
Why would you bring that up?
See, we've been vaccinated.
No, you're gonna ruin my
I'm
fucking
kidding.
stream.
I'm sorry,
you
I'm sorry.
fucking idiot.
I'm lying.
Don't do that.
I'm lying.
Don't ruin my stream.
I'm sorry.
Every once in a while, Thomas thinks it's funny
I don't drink that
to
often.
just start like bringing up stupid shit. Gotta love him. No,
It's the hat, man.
don't say the
Jaronism.
VAXX word because
sorry,
that right
sorry.
there screws things up.
Well, we said we got it, so that's totally. I thought it was gonna help the algorithm.
Tommy, just let me get. We're almost through the
I
stream.
thought I had logic, just like these
We're
people.
almost through the stream.
You're showing me some crazy shit. This is crazy.
This didn't have anything to do with you kissing Jaronism.
I'm trying to flex, bro. Give me
Okay.
a break.
So, basically, the Jaronism and his crew and all the AE map proponents were using this video of a guy with a pen flashlight, making it go around in a circle around a glass paperweight, and they were acting like this is proof for the AE map. Now, when I ask a simple question like, well, what about people in Ushuaia? People in Ushuaia during the month of December get 17 hours of daylight. So how are you going to have the sun light up Ushuaia for 17 hours in December while you're spinning your little pen around the map? So you have this little sliver of sunlight. Look, so you got this little sliver of sunlight. That's what they want you to believe is going on. They want you to believe this little sliver of sunlight is on the opposite side of the world than where the sun's at, because that's the only way to light up Ushuaia for 17 hours. Because if you have a circling sun going around in a circle, well, when it's on the opposite side of the globe, how the fuck are you lighting up Ushuaia for 17 hours?
It's kind of like they're pointing out why they're wrong.
No, I'm the one who made this
And
video.
no, I'm saying they're not this video, but just them making this video just in general would bring attention to something that 90% of the flat earthers or 95% of the flat earthers would never even known about.
And so my thing is to just simply write off stuff like this and say the sun bounces off the dome. That's like saying a reflection of fire is the same as fire. If I show you a reflection of fire in the mirror, that's not going to heat up the room. So you can't say that it's just a reflection. They're not seeing the real sun. They're just seeing a reflection over there. Unless you can prove that. So somehow they're seeing the sun for 17 hours in Ushuaia, and it just doesn't add up on a circle map when you're spinning the sun around in a circle. So this is just yet another debunk of the map. All right, so let's go to the.
Oh, I got this.
Let's go to the other video, the one with the daylight hours debunk. Yeah, this one right here.
Sunrise and sunset angles absolutely prove that the sun does not go in a circle around an AE map or any other circular map. If you go to suncalc.net, you can actually find out where the sun is going to rise and where the sun is going to set. And apparently in the southern hemisphere, such as Australia, they're seeing the sun rise from the southeast and set in the southwest. Even in South Africa, they're seeing the sun set in the southwest. In South America, they're seeing the sun set in the southwest. Now, no matter where you drag the cursor around in the southern hemisphere, at this time of year in October, the sun is setting to the southwest. That's a problem for the AE map because that's the opposite direction than the supposed circling sun. If people in the southern hemisphere are seeing the sun set to the southwest, that is in the entirely opposite direction than the supposed circling sun. So this is a glaring hole in the AE map and model.
In the northern hemisphere.
Let's skip ahead over Matt's
winter,
part to the
their summer. It's
right there.
southwest.
Yeah, good right there.
There are plenty of observable.
All right, listen very
The
closely.
circle
This is a
model
very important part.
is a wrong model of flat Earth.
You turn it up. No. Or no?
There's no way for the model to produce the daylight hours that are real. I mean, millions of people live in these southern cities. We can show examples of that with animations and show how it's impossible for it to reflect reality. You set the sun's reach, so it can't reach Antarctica, but it's just giving the Arctic 24-hour light, as we know it does in the June summer. Then we look at what the reach is. We look at how many daylight hours is that sun giving, and up north it's giving, plenty. It's giving 12 to 14, but down south, I mean, you can pause it anywhere, and you can see that along those latitudes where the cities are, it's only given 5 or 6 hours.
No,
of
he's
daylight.
showing what we
It's
showed
been
in
dark
that
again,
meme
but
earlier.
They receive 10
How
hours of daylight.
if you have a circle, it's not going to light up all the
This
portion.
model can't give the reality. A model must match reality. I mean, it's a basic fail of the Gleason's disk model, and it's a common sense, commonly known.
All right, so
the
he's
daylight
showing
hours
that
can't
you
be
don't
fake
get the
and
proper
daylight
amount
hours
of
can't be
daylight
fake.
hours
So
if you
you
just
can
have a
set the-
circular
you can
portion.
set the
And if
sun's
you make
reach
the
so,
circular portion
it's no
bigger,
longer bigger,
now you
it
have
will
too
give
many
hours
daylight hours.
of daylight to those places where you actually receive it. But on the flip side, if you look in the north now,
Now you have
everywhere
places
in the
getting
tropics,
24
the
hours
California is
of
getting
sunlight
24
that
hours
shouldn't be
light,
getting 24 hours.
which again we know is not reality. It's inherently flawed because of the time zones. An hour up in Canada,
This is that real
is worth
shit.
20 minutes.
So again, you can't just
Down
spin a
south,
sun around in a circle
So the-
and have it light up a circle portion and have everything work. You have to have it light up half the Earth
doesn't
during
make
the
sense.
equinoxes,
And then
3/4
have
of the
the
Earth
equidistant.
in the
Equidistant
month
solstices
of
6 months
December,
apart.
and then you have to have it
South
just
is
lighting up
two-
just the
there's
circle
two pairs,
portion
for
in the month of
example,
June.
pause,
So it would
check
have
out
to
from
have
south, go
a
check some other
shape-shifting
places. Do
lampshade
your
over the
research.
top of it.
Well, this is true.
And so how does that work?
Alright, cut that.
Okay, the whole year's like this. Now pay attention, flat Earth idiot. Pay
Okay, so go back to the shape-shifting lampshade meme. So that video corresponds with the daylight hours meme that I showed you earlier, and we'll look at it again. There it is. Okay, so that video I just showed you, this is the meme that it corresponds with, and basically it goes like this. You would have to have your daylight pattern change from that circular pattern in June to then on the equinoxes it would have to be a half pie shape in March and September, and it would have to light up exactly half. And then in December you'd have to light up almost all the Earth except for that circular globular portion. So your sun, while going around in a circle, would have to somehow change the shape of the area that it lights up underneath it. And you can't just say, the dome! The dome magically fixes that, Jacob, because the dome, reflection, dome! Jesus and the dome! You can't just say dome fixes it, or just it's the dome. So I find the ones who start reaching for the excuses when met with information like this are the ones still holding on to the pizza pie map. So you pizza pie earthers, we debunked this map a long time ago. The globe earthers have debunked it, the concavers have debunked it, and even the flat earthers have debunked it. So if you're still using this pizza pie map where the distances are wrong, the continents are misshapen, the daylight hours are wrong, and the sunset angles and sunrise angles are incorrect. That's a lot of incorrect shit. So if you're still saying it's the best we have, it's still the best we have, I say bullshit. It's not the best we have.
And seems as if there's a lot of theories out there, like hollow Earth. But hollow Earth, all the different weird Earth theories are just seen as really stupid by Google, and they're kind of like the all-seeing eye right now.
Now, hollow Earth, I've never seen anybody with any evidence of them going inside the Earth. And so that's where that cosmology ends with me, is because you have guys like Admiral Byrd, who people like to say sailed around the ice wall. He also said he went inside the hollow Earth and met giants. So I think it's Admiral Byrd.
He probably said a lot of crazy
He
shit.
said he went inside the hollow Earth and that there were giants and that there were huge giant trees and giant fruits and giant everything, and that all the giants were like, they were amazed by the fact that him and his crew made it down there. And so I've heard stories of people going inside the Earth and meeting creatures and aliens inside the Earth and whatnot, but no one's ever produced any sort of proof for any of that crap. So I never took any hollow Earth cosmology serious. In fact, the one that I even heard was that there was even a sun inside the Earth and a sun outside the Earth, but again, I've never seen any convincing evidence or any evidence at all of anybody going inside the Earth.
Yeah, somebody the other day goes, I like the hollow Earth theory, and this probably because he saw it on Discovery Channel. Because I just saw it like.
Well, and hollow Earth can also be
History
combined with concave Earth in a way. You know what I mean? So concave Earth and hollow Earth can kind of be confused together, but they say that this hollow one, that there's like an outside and an inside.
Oh, I like it. See, it's just time to have fun with it. My main problem is that people
Look,
should.
that says History Channel though, so anything with ancient aliens and History Channel, I wouldn't watch that for 10 seconds, dude.
Well, but the general public did, so I think people got to just loosen up and practice freedom of speech. And I think it's disgusting what this platform has done in the last 5 years, and how they just stomped out freedom of speech is horrible. And expression, it's disgusting. Who cares if you think it's stupid? Screw you. Who cares if you think Concave Earth stupid? They should still have a voice and not be censored or not be like blacklisted and weird.
Let's go to my pictures again. So we have definitive proof from people in Australia. Here, go to the sunrise and sunset angles. We have definitive proof from people in Australia and Tasmania who are subbed to my channel. Here, that's good. Go back. So I have people subbed to my channel who live in Australia. I asked several people to go outside, point a compass at the sun when it rises and when it sets. During the months of October, you start to see the sun rise from the south and set to the south. It gets even further south in the month of December, so you can actually see the most southerly rise and southerly set in the month of December in the southern hemisphere, or hemisflat, whatever you want to call it. I've had my subscribers point a compass at the sun during the morning time and the night time and send me the footage, and it actually verifies what they say on timeanddate.com. So timeanddate.com show exactly this, the sun rising out of the southeast, setting to the southwest. And so if you are a proponent of the AE map, you can keep making up excuses if you want to wave around your pizza pie map, but the proof is there that these angles don't match up at all. You should be seeing the sun coming down from a northeastern angle and then heading off to a northwestern angle, but you see the opposite happening. And you can prove this. You can have anybody in Australia point a compass at the sun, or anyone in South America, at the southern tip of South America, point a compass at the sun. You're gonna have this exact same thing happen. And so when you count the distances being wrong, the sunset angles, sunrise angles being wrong, the daylight hours not adding up, it's a lot of problems. And then just the directions. We're at the bottom of the map here. So if you go to the top of the map in the opposite direction, both of those are considered to be the South Pole. So it's like two opposite directions. Whereas on a Mercator map, a square map, if you head south on one side of the map and then head south on the other side of the map, you're heading in the same fucking direction. So that's one thing I don't like about the AE map, is that it takes all the cardinal directions and it makes a joke of them. To go east, you have to be constantly turning right, and to go west, you have to be constantly turning left. So that means you'd have to be constantly making a turn. And then let's say if you're heading to the North Pole and you get there, the compass is going to, whoop, then it's going to flip, and now you're going to be heading in an opposite direction, south. But you just supposedly came from south. So I don't like the fact that south is in every direction on the circle map, because that puts the notion out there that you could get up on top of the ice wall and go in opposite directions in every direction you're going in is south. So once you get on that ice wall and go in any direction, you're going south. It just doesn't make any sense. There's too many damn holes in it that just don't make sense. And there are guys like Dubé.
It's like a fucking spaghetti strainer,
the guys
bro.
who are stuck using it, if you look at it, who are still using this map, who haven't thrown it away, are shills and gatekeepers. You have guys like Jaron and Bob and Mark Sargent and the conference shills, David Weiss and Eric Dubé. Do you know what Eric Dubé did when I proved that the sun comes up out of the southeast and sets to the southwest? He dressed up like me and imitated my voice. He didn't prove that I was wrong. He called me a shill, dressed up like me, imitated my voice. This was in the same video where he also dressed up like a woman. So
that was a good part.
Eric
I
Dubé
like that
dressed
part.
up like what's her name, the red-haired girl?
Martha, or the one with all the plastic, Catwoman.
No, the one who you liked with the big boot.
Oh, my favorite. Oh my god.
Orphan Red.
Orphan Red.
So Eric Dubé dresses like a lady
Orphan Red, I love you, girl.
and calls people shills whenever he can't debunk something you say. So he called me a shill and dressed up like me, and in the same video he dressed up like a lady. And this is also the same guy who pushes the vegan diet, which is an NWO diet. And
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. So if you ever watched the show Shark Tank, you got billionaires like the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban. Anytime anyone shows up with a vegan product, he's all over it. He wants to buy it. And so it's obvious that the elites are pushing a vegan diet. And if you look into how many people have gotten sick and nearly died on a vegan diet, there's a shitload of people who start turning into skeletons and are in the worst health of their life once they go vegan. And then you look on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have the raw meat eaters looking healthy. None of them start turning into skeletons and dying. And so you have a guy who dresses like a fucking lady, dresses up like me and imitates me, but he can't debunk anything I say, and he pushes a broken NWO diet, and this is the main proponent of the AE map. Just want to point that out, that a guy who dresses like me and imitates me can't debunk me, dresses like a woman, pushes the broken vegan diet, is also the main proponent of the AE map.
Very, very well said in your own words. So you got the there's another thing of Earth that we haven't really talked about, which is Galileo Galilei, right? That's the guy who tried to say, because before that the Earth was round and it was stationary and everything went around us. I don't know why people don't talk about that one more, because that one actually, if we could be the center of the universe and around Earth.
I've ran through that cosmology as well. I actually sexed together a few cosmologies and came up with a globe inside of a cell. And so the problem always becomes is, can you prove the curvature? Because if we're on a ball, then can you prove the curvature?
That's where those hexagon things I showed you were.
A ball with flat spots on it?
Let me show you hexagon. Yeah,
Yeah, but then there should be rigid edges.
No, that's why they only go for like what's the longest anybody's measured? What's the largest area anybody's measured? Because it doesn't have to be all the areas, but some areas.
So you're trying to say we could be on a flat spot on a hexagram ball kind of thing?
Definitely. It was and we're connected statically.
Yeah, but then there would be rigid edges that you should be able to theoretically travel to.
Necessarily, but.
And then how does the sun go up and down on that thing?
It just goes around it like it does because if we're in the pre-Galileo Galilei model where everything just goes around.
Yeah, but then when it gets to if it gets to the end of that polygon or whatever, you see what I'm saying? Then how's it going to start over on the other side?
No, I don't know, but check this out. It's also because I really like Hex, the cryptocurrency, and I don't.
Oh, he's trying to push some crypto.
Oh, people can't even see.
I
this
gotta
shit.
keep
people
my-
can't even see what.
Oh, I can't even see what we're doing.
Oh, let me show you what I was showing you. This is my theory that we actually live on a hex type ball in a where everything in the universe goes around us.
Yeah, but you still have to have a map and then a sun going around the map
We
somehow.
kind of do have a map.
So you're saying you could put a map like what Mercator style across one of these polygons and then somehow shoot. But your sun starts over when it gets to
one would
the
be
end.
perfect. I think this one would be perfect actually. Those polygon shapes are about perfect because that could be like where the highest peaks are. I bet I could prove that, dude, but I don't got the time for that.
I don't think is any more of a stretch than saying we live on a map on the moon.
No, I think it's a little better than that one. I think I could get a YouTube channel and cult following. They'll call me Lord Jesus Thomas the God
Thomas's
of Thunder.
hexagon Earth. Yeah. You know, I can't say what we live on one way or the other, so I don't want anyone to think that I choose one of these maps one way or the other. I don't know what the fuck the Earth is, Earther. I'm a confused Earther.
I'm an agnostic Earther.
I'm a question mark Earther.
That's what an agnostic
And so
is.
that's the whole point of this stream, is just to show you guys that every map I look at seems to have some sort of a problem.
Fucking stupid. That's why I like the video game one the best, bro. And you should look into it. That there's this thing with quantum physics where if they're staring at these things, molecules or these little tiny dots of light, if you're looking at them, they'll do the exact same thing. But if you're not looking at them, they'll split. So they're thinking that with our, I don't know, this is a long stretch, but with your eyeballs, like nothing's actually there. It's a big computer program that's all zipped up, and when you start to look at it and go to it, it has to unzip it. It saves RAM, and so anything could be possible if that's the case.
I feel like more and more like we're in some sort of a hyper-realistic video game, hyper-realistic simulation, to where the Earth may be flat in the computer simulation, but also have elements of roundness too. Like, can the Earth be flat and round at the same time?
Yes, right here.
Go back to the square model inside the circle. And so the one that we did look at earlier, the Book of Enoch's model, shows that you can have a square map inside of a circular model, inside of a circular dome.
Yeah.
And so this model, I like it. I can't say for sure whether it's true or not. This one also shows that the star trails could be going straight across the equator, and then they could be opposite from the north end of the map to the south end of the map. You have regular cardinal directions, northeast, southwest. Problem here becomes, are you teleporting when you go from one side of the map to the other? If you go to the South Pole, do you pop out at the North Pole? Or do you run into some sort of a firmament? And so for circumnavigation on a map like this, you have to say that you're teleporting like Pac-Man from one side to the other. And
But they gotta have the multiple
is
sides.
that impossible? Is that just out of the realm of impossibility?
No, you'd want two suns because then when it goes underneath the shit, it keeps it warm and helps the volcano.
I see what you're saying, and you could have two suns, so instead of the sun having to teleport, what if it goes down, and then another sun simultaneously comes up out of the other side, and then you have one sun going down below the Earth while the other sun's up above you. So as above, so below. So then at noon, there would also be a sun down below you in hell, I guess.
Yeah, that makes all the sense, bro. We figured it out. The Book of Enoch, bro.
And
You gotta
so,
go buy it on
from a
Amazon.com.
video game standpoint, does Pac-Man know that he's teleporting from one side to the other?
It's a computer program.
So
I don't
if
think
we
he does.
are Pac-Man and we are teleporting from one side to the other,
Somebody's asking if you're single.
yes, I'm very single, and I'm ready to mingle with the hottest flat Earth ladies who are available.
Send titty pics. Send titty pics. All right.
What did you just say?
I'm making it old school. Like, what's that guy Howard Stern? How he used to be back in the day? Is he still like that?
Howard Stern is a government cuck now, dude.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He probably doesn't ask for titty pics anymore.
Howard Stern nowadays is just like toes the company line. He toes the mainstream line. Whatever the mainstream news is, Howard goes with that. Him and Robin are terrible nowadays. They are terrible human beings. Okay, so we have basically went over every Earth cosmology, all the popular Earth cosmologies here. There are people that no matter what you show them, they are always going to be AE mappers, and they're going to stick to the AE map no matter how badly it fails. There are people that have given up on the AE map and think that we live in a concave cell. There are people that think we live on a globe. And then there are people like myself who just have a big giant question mark, who just can't figure out where the hell we live. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the fact that I don't know. I've accepted the fact that I don't know, and I think it's a healthier way to live than claiming that you do know, or pretending that you know, and then having to make excuses every time somebody punches a hole in your cosmology.
Yeah. Ooh, disco ball Earth. All right. Well, I gotta go substitute teach and tell kids.
When you substitute teach, you just have to tell the kids whatever you're told to tell them.
I say mask check, put your mask on. That's what I do.
You have to be a mask Nazi, huh? Oh, it's terrible.
Actually, I don't have to actually at all. I'm actually the worst at it.
That's why they won't let you do it anymore, huh?
Well, I don't. It depends. I'm not allowed to do the junior highs, but no more at this one school. But I can still do the elementary schools.
All right. Well, before we get off on a different subject that is irrelevant to what we're talking about,
the kids, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed this Earth stream. We had like the first 10-15 minutes of the stream get cut off, but we pretty much covered and recovered everything that we mentioned in that stream. So make sure to leave your comments after the stream ends. All the people who commented in the stream, if we didn't mention your comment or talk to you at all, please leave your comments after the video ends, and maybe I'll get to them. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Thank you to everyone who donated. Again, this is just an educational stream, so we can further discuss what the Earth might be, because I personally don't know. And like I said, I think it's better to admit that we don't know, rather than pretending we know, like guys like Eric Dubé.
You want to be truthful, and this is a truth seeker, so he's just telling you what he believes, you know, and so he found out a bunch of stuff, and then dived head deep into it, and then found out a bunch of stuff, and then so he's not like a cult member.
Yeah, that just shows you I'm honest with my audience. I admit that I don't know exactly what shape the Earth is, or whether it's even if it's any shape. It might be a computer simulation.
Because when I first met you, you were so over the top flat Earth.
Oh, when you first met me, I was AE map sold.
Even
bro.
when I was because I did a show with these guys back a long time ago. Like I don't even remember when that Reno show was, but basically Matt Boylan and Jake. I don't know about Jake, but Matt Boylan. One of his problems with me was that I wasn't like loyal enough to. I wasn't 100%.
You were always a bit skeptical, and yeah. So.
Well,
and now it turns out to be the right way. It's good to be skeptical of everything we're being shown, even by supposed flat earthers and truthers. And that's why I've never shown you guys a model that I said was 100% right. I've even tried to fix this AE model, and you'll bang your head against the wall. You will go crazy if you try it. I recommend, if you want to give it a go, try and fix the problems with the AE map. Try and fix the distances. Try and fix the daylight hours. Once you start moving shit around and messing with shit on that map, you'll see when you move one thing over here, then you change some other thing. When you try to stretch the daylight hours in one area, you take them away from another. So trying to fix that broken circular map will have you pulling your hair out and banging your head against the wall. And the guys who are still saying that that's the best map we have, they're gatekeeping shills, or they're useful idiots.
Or they're just trying to get a buck.
Or they're trying to just make money off you. Exactly.
Don't give a fuck.
And so, having said that, I've never tried to sell you guys AE map merch. I've never tried to push children's books claiming that we live on a pizza pie. And to this day, I'm honest with my audience that I don't know what shape the Earth is. And that was the whole purpose of this stream.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro. Well, thanks, Jake,
So,
for having me here.
Thank you, Thomas, for helping me. I'm going to go ahead, since you paid me, or since I got paid to do this stream and I couldn't have done it without you, I'm going to give you a $20 bill. There you go. It's $20 to Thomas for helping me do this stream. I couldn't have did the stream without you. And
I just want you to take this $20 to the casino with
I
you.
got some
Not tonight, though.
I got some donations today, so I probably made $20 in donations. And so what matters mostly to me is getting this information out there, and I still get asked questions by people what map I use or what I think, what shape I think the Earth is. So I hope this clears it up for everybody that I don't know what shape it is, still just as confused as ever. But now you guys can at least understand where my confusion comes from.
Hey,
What's that?
is this the "Don't Tread on Me" flag?
And it's not coming up on the screen.
Oh, it's not. No, it's because there's a delay.
Oh.
So this is the "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
Uh-huh.
I was telling Jake about this. Maybe even do a song called "Don't Shed on Me." Well, it's taking forever for this image to come up, but see right here the "Don't Tread on Me" thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't shed on me.
You're gonna say "Don't shed on me,"
And then you have little C word balls.
Don't
That's a
shed-
good one. Don't shed on me.
And I'll just take that picture and put either like a vaccine needle or just put a Corona or whatever they put in the vaccine. In
Don't
there.
say those words.
Oh, sorry, I meant beer.
Those are bad words.
Sorry. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be a good. Don't shed on me.
Don't shed on me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a fucking. Or excuse me, I think it'd be a fucking hit, dude. So.
You can say fuck all you want. Just don't say the V.
How is that making any sense? I can
don't
say
say
fuck,
the V
but-
word and don't say the C word.
But
If
they're
you
good
say the
for-
V
they're
word or
good
the
for
C
you.
word, YouTube will act like I'm trying to give out medical advice and they will take the stream
You don't
down.
say medical advice. They might think you're giving out medical. Oh, dude.
We're at the end of the stream anyway. We made
Alright.
it. So
Don't shed on us.
so maybe we'll make that into a t-shirt.
Yeah, let's talk about that tomorrow. At
All
the
right, guys.
casino.
So please hit the thumbs up button and thank you again for joining us. Thomas is going to be moving away soon, but me and him will be keeping up, and hopefully we can still do streams like this through Zoom
You know,
or something.
my whole thing is this: is like, I know what I gotta do. I just gotta go get to my new spot where I'm a little more free, and then just start fucking making money. Not just money, but any type of wealth that I can get. And then I'm trying to get an island or some more property. I'm trying to get properties everywhere. I got this vision. I think it can happen. So who knows how long I'll be in Arizona, but maybe forever.
But we can still maybe even do streams like this through Zoom or something.
We could definitely do it for Zoom, no problem. But you might want to come out to Arizona, and well, my relatives are all in California, so I'll be back.
All right, guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us, and thank you for all the donations. Me and Tommy will see you next time. Peace.